Every year, the same message gets louder. If you're alone, you must be missing out. It shows up in small places: money, sleep, and time. So here's the question. Upgrade for who and at what cost? This isn't a speech against love, and it's definitely not a rant about women. Sometimes it's just more offensive, louder, and harder to exit. Most men don't feel the loss right away. They feel it slowly, then all at once, years later. Relationships aren't the problem. Entering them without understanding the cost is. Think of this as a map, not telling you what to choose, just showing patterns. Let's start. Number 1, you keep your money. Let's remove the emotion and start with reality. Money is simple when no one else needs a say. You earn it, you decide where it goes. And no one complains about why it mattered so much. That clarity disappears once money starts carrying emotion. Saying no is clean. Money isn't just currency. It's time you already spent and never noticed leaving, and single men leak less. And once your money stays aligned with your values, everything else becomes easier to manage. Number 2, you don't have to start over. Wealth rarely disappears overnight. It disappears when progress gets interrupted. A financial path stays intact when nothing forces a rebuild. Most men don't fail financially. They lose momentum after long relationships end, money gets divided, plans slow down. The timeline stretches. Men who stay single don't face that reset. Their progress stays continuous. No forced pauses, no rebuilding from behind. That difference doesn't explode. It accumulates. And eventually it decides who's still moving forward and who ran out of runway. Number 3, no ongoing financial penalties. This is the point where men stop joking. Alimony isn't a theory. It's a fixed obligation that continues long after a relationship ends. It doesn't just reduce income, it limits how you plan your life. He works to build momentum. For many men, this isn't about the money itself, it's about motivation. It's like running faster on a treadmill that never moves. Single men never have to calculate around this. They move steadily toward the finish line, not endlessly running in place. There's no delayed cost attached to a relationship that didn't last. When something ends, it doesn't follow you into the next chapter. And that clean separation preserves one thing men don't see it coming: the ability to rebuild momentum without carrying yesterday into tomorrow. Number 4, you avoid legal exposure. Many men don't think about this until a signature changes what they're allowed to decide. But once a relationship becomes a legal structure, outcomes stop being personal. Decisions move from private conversations to formal processes. Money, time, and future income are evaluated by rules you don't control. This isn't about fear, it's about risk awareness. Men without partners aren't cynical. They're simply not exposed. By staying outside the system, they keep something most men lose. They keep the final say in their future decisions. And that matters more than optimism. Mark enters a contract that puts shared assets under legal control. Months later, decisions about his income are no longer his to make. The outcome follows rules, not intent. Number 5, you keep the final say on big decisions. This affects men more than they expect. Cars, homes, property, major trips. When you're single, decisions get made faster, mostly because the discussion never starts. You look at timing, you look at haste, you look at where it leads. Once another voice enters the process, the criteria change. The issue isn't irrationality, it's that large purchases begin to serve comfort and preference, not outcomes. Upgrades feel reasonable until you're paying for them. Single men don't avoid spending. They avoid emotional spending, and that difference keeps their finances clean. In the past, every Christmas came with a budget. Ben spent a fair amount on decorations, mostly to please his partner and prepare for family visits. Living alone now, he reuses a few old pieces. Nothing elaborate, and for him, that's enough. Number 6, your plans stay intact. A man who doesn't wait for permission moves faster than the world expects. You decide where you want to be in 10, 20, 30 years, then you work backward. Retirement timelines stay realistic. Risk is measured, not avoided. Progress stays steady. Add a long-term partner and plans start bending. Timelines extend, priorities shift, expenses increase. Even short relationships can delay progress, not just financially, but mentally. Delay doesn't look dangerous. It looks reasonable. That's why it lasts. Single men avoid detours. Men tied to too many commitments often stay active but don't advance. Daniel decided to take on a new project. He stayed focused and kept his spending tight. 3 years later, he was doing well financially. Number 7, your daily life stays consistent. This is where quality of life shows up. Daily rhythm stays stable without constant adjustment. You wake up the same way. The day runs without friction. Once another person moves in, daily life becomes shared management. Small preferences turn into discussions. Routines get revised. Comfort turns conditional. Getting one thing means giving something else up. And that's when you realize your standards didn't rise. They just moved down to match what was easiest. Number 8, your space works the way you need it to. This sounds simple until it's not. When you live alone, your home is practical, durable, built for use, not presentation. Once aesthetics take priority, function often drops. She bought a beautiful swing for the yard. Tony was told not to sit on it for more than 10 minutes. It wasn't designed to be used. It was designed to be photographed. A man doesn't need a home to impress. He needs it to recover and move. Number 9, your body and sleep work better. This affects everything else. Temperature, light, noise, sleep timing. When you control these, energy improves. Poor sleep doesn't feel dramatic. It shows up as slow fatigue over years. Single men sleep better because their environment stays simple. He protects sleep because he knows energy decides everything else. Paul turns in at 10. Waking up early doesn't feel like a fight. The day feels light. Some nights, he still feels restless, missing the warmth of another person. But that's very different from giving up peace just to trade it for a little affection and a lot of risk. Number 10, your bed actually belongs to you. When you're single, the bed sometimes becomes a place to work, unwind, or think, not just a place to sleep. Peter likes eating in bed while watching his favorite show. It's not something I'd recommend, but it's his choice, as long as the dishes get clean and the ants don't show up. Once that space is shared, small adjustments start adding up. There's no complaint, just a loss of control in the one place that should be theirs. Sharing a bed sounds romantic, but sleeping well slowly moves down the list. For single men, it's just a small advantage that stays with you. The bed lasts longer when only one person puts weight on it, and it never asks questions when its owner snores a little too loudly at night. What comes next moves closer to identity, how small choices start shaping the man who lives inside them. If that line felt familiar, tap like. And if this is your kind of thinking, subscribe. You'll fit in here. Number 11, you eat on your body's schedule. Eating becomes straightforward when the body sets the rules. In committed relationships, meals often turn into routine management. Fixed times, eating what the other person prefers. Men on their own listen to their appetite. Now he either eats out or cooks for himself. The cooking might be rough at first, but over time, he gets noticeably better. Joe smiles and says his cat stopped avoiding his meals. Number 12, you dress to match your life, add a partner, and clothing becomes a conversation. Presentation starts to matter more than function. Single men don't dress to project an image. They wear what feels comfortable. Even if the shirt is worn out, it stays as long as he likes it. They care more about the sports news than checking whether today's outfit looks good. Number 13, you choose how you unwind. Jim spends his weekends walking through a nearby park with his dog. He doesn't worry about the latest movie release or crowded shopping centers. When there's a partner, rest often turns into an obligation. Taking someone out replaces paying attention to how he actually feels. On his own, downtime does what it's supposed to do. It restores him, not his calendar. Number 14, travel serves you, not expectations. Michael travels without having to report to anyone. He works online, so any place can become home for a while. His personal page is filled with photos that carry a sense of energy and unforced freedom. His friends admire him from a distance. He usually shrugs it off and says he's just been luckier, mostly because he doesn't carry responsibility for anyone else. Number 15, your interests keep their place. I love music, and I've signed up to learn the saxophone for the third time. The first 2 times didn't last, not because I lost interest, but because I couldn't practice freely in my own home. Living with a partner means respecting her rest. That part is fair. It just meant my interest always had to stay quiet. Now it doesn't. I can practice when I feel like it. My interest finally has its place again. Number 16, your daily life stays flexible. We're all busy with life, so when you add a partner, planning around 2 schedules becomes harder. For example, if you want to change jobs and it requires a different time structure, that shift can create friction. Her discomfort with the change can become a barrier in your path. Single men have one major advantage: flexibility. A business trip runs longer than expected? No problem. The night goes from one gathering to another, then another. No one calling, no one complaining. And especially if you come home completely exhausted and fall asleep without even brushing your teeth. That's fine, but don't make it a habit. Unless you want an earlier than planned visit to the dentist. Number 17, you decide who stays in your circle. Friendships last longer when they stay direct. Some friends have been around since we were kids, running shirtless in the rain. Those bonds were earned over years. But when a romantic relationship turns serious, the filtering starts. The circle narrows. Men who live independently decide their own social plans. They keep the people who keep life sharp. If someone pushes against that, he sets limits. He thinks it through. And sometimes he'd rather stay single and keep his freedom than compromise it. Number 18, desire stays alive longer. When you first fall for someone, it feels incredible. The closeness, the early spark. But after living together for a while, things change. Intimacy slowly becomes scheduled. Attraction turns predictable. Nothing is wrong. It's like eating at a great restaurant too often. The food is still good, you're just not excited the same way anymore. At that point, what keeps people together isn't chemistry, it's sincerity, the way 2 people move through daily life. And if those things aren't there, it's worth slowing down before committing long term. Alex noticed a shift one evening. The conversation revealed different views. The rhythm wasn't broken, but it no longer felt pink. Number 19, independence increases attractiveness. Men who aren't easy to lock down keep themselves grounded. They stay engaged with life. They stay alert. That alone makes them more attractive. Not because they try harder, but because they don't rush, don't hover, don't flatter just because she's beautiful. Single men don't chase approval. They hold their position, and people notice, even if you don't consciously think about it. Have you ever caught a woman smiling at you for no clear reason at all? Number 20, you date without creating obligations. When you're single, dating flows naturally. You might meet her through a mutual friend, or come across her online and decide to meet. Nothing feels forced, and you leave if the connection doesn't feel right. No expectations hiding behind attraction. That doesn't mean he's a player. It means both he and she are on equal ground while getting to know each other. In some countries, dating used to come with the assumption of marriage. Today, most places have moved on. People are freer and far less worried about social judgment. By now, the pattern should be clear. Staying single doesn't create chaos. It removes obstacles. But the next section isn't about comfort anymore. It's about what happens when nothing is pushing you. If you've lived through that exact season, leave a comment with one sentence. What started repeating first, your days or your drive? Number 21, you rebuild your role as a father. For divorced men, this one is concrete. Parenting becomes direct without constant back and forth. If something didn't work before, you fix it now. If emotional presence was missing, you bring it when you're together. You're no longer competing for authority across two households. Single fathers don't lose influence. They become more consistent, and kids respond to clarity, even without words. On weekends, Leo picks his son up at 8 from his mother's place. He doesn't explain or repeat himself. After a few weeks, the boy is already waiting by the door. Number 22, friendships don't disappear. This shift happens. Men drift. Years pass, no arguments, just distance. Access fades. Connection weakens. Single men are different. They don't vanish into someone else's life. He remains reachable because he never disappeared into obligation. And the friendships that last end up mattering more than men realize. One day, Nick gets a call from an old friend asking for help with something important, something only Nick can handle. He listens to the situation, it makes sense, and he agrees. Before, he probably would have said no. There were too many people to account for. Now there's nothing pulling him away. However, if he's not careful, a single man can start being seen as always available. Friends may lean on him too often, and unnecessary trouble slowly follows. Number 23, daily life carries less drama. Problems get handled once, then released. No repeating the same issue from different angles. No escalation over small disruptions. Larry's ex-wife often brings up his past business failure whenever he tries to discuss something. Even though it happened years ago, it keeps getting dragged back into the present. It hurts him, even if he never says it out loud. Single men move past it and keep living without bringing it up again. But having no one to question you can also be a drawback. It's easier to slip up because some situations are better handled with two minds instead of one. Number 24, health improves through lower stress. In your 30s and 40s, stress makes you restless and tired. In your 50s and 60s, stress acts like a slow poison, wearing you down over time. One careless sentence can follow him all day, disturb his sleep, and leave his nervous system worn out. Single men sleep better, recover faster, daily life carries less tension, and over time, blood pressure and heart health improve. Number 25, emotional stability becomes normal. When you're single, emotional regulation stays internal. No sudden mood swings in the room. No walking carefully to avoid tension. Stability becomes the default. Decisions stop pressing you forward. Relief feels good, but it doesn't move you anywhere. That's how stagnation builds through repetition. Men don't change just because things hurt. They change when they feel stuck and nothing moves forward. Number 26, stress stays contained. He's had a rough day at work, snapped at a coworker, got irritated sitting in traffic. But when he gets home, the house is quiet. It absorbs the slam of the door without reacting. He can kick things around, vent it out, and no one judges him for it. An hour later, the edge fades. The nervous system just needs time to settle. That's one advantage of a single man. No one adds fuel when he's already sensitive. The next morning, he wakes up lighter, and things feel good again. But I also see another man who, under heavy work pressure, doesn't go home. He heads to a bar to blow off steam. Everyone deals with their inner turmoil differently, and a man grows stronger when he faces it instead of running from it. Number 27, you age with less wear. Sam is only 45, but he looks older than his age. He still jokes and smiles around people, but his eyes carry the tiredness of constant responsibility. Of course, everyone has people they care about, but not everyone carries that weight lightly. Sam has a single friend the same age who looks noticeably younger, not because he spends hours on his appearance, but because the load he carries is about half of Sam's. Single men often stay more active and mobile as they age. They don't last longer by pushing harder. Their systems simply are not overloaded. However, they also need self-discipline. Without it, disorder slowly creeps in. Number 28, you live without ongoing evaluation. Most men are not overly concerned with appearances or small details. How to act, what to say, what not to say. Even with a considerate partner, they don't like the feeling of being monitored. When a man is single, the constant comments fade. No one critiques his habits, preferences, or daily rhythm. Now there's no one else to correct him. He has to keep himself in line, because walking out in a wrinkled shirt is the kind of thing he'll regret pretty quickly. Number 29, every choice has a cost. Life isn't always easy, even for a single man, especially if he works alone and doesn't have to meet many people. Some days get so quiet that he misses a joke or even a small argument with someone. Freedom comes with trade-offs. You give up certain private benefits that come from sharing a home. But at the same time, plenty of men are trying to escape that same cage. So let's be fair. Make peace with the life you're living. Every coin has two sides. Life works the same way. Whether you're single or partnered, happiness is possible. Each path has its own advantages. And a man who lives independently has every reason to stand comfortably in the life he's chosen. Number 30, work gains traction. Late nights make sense. Decisions don't require approval. You're not locked into safety-first choices because someone else depends on every move. Single men pivot well. They can pour their full time into one project without having to divide it elsewhere. That focus often leads to faster results and quicker progress. At the same time, the risk of bad decisions increases if he doesn't take the time to think things through himself. Up to this point, everything you've heard sounds practical. Money works. Life feels manageable. And after years of living alone, many men stop paying close attention. Decisions still get made, but nothing pulls them forward anymore. Number 31, when days start repeating, nothing collapses. He wakes up, handles the day. Mornings like this have repeated for years. It starts to feel like eating the same soup for a century straight. He can't name where he's heading. Number 32, health slips without friction. When no one is paying attention, work keeps you company. Health becomes an afterthought. None of it feels like a problem yet. The body sends small warnings like polite emails that keep getting ignored. Nothing feels wrong enough to fix, and that's how health doesn't collapse. It just drifts out of focus. Number 33, decisions don't drain you. There's nothing to overthink. Men living independently choose and move. They don't drag life into delays. Decisions stop being traffic jams and start acting like green lights. That simplicity helps you focus on what actually matters. Number 34, rhythm replaces motivation. Rhythm doesn't come from motivation, it comes from removing daily negotiation. Robert wakes up at roughly the same hour, not because it's perfect, but because it's decided. He doesn't ask himself what he feels like doing next. He already knows what usually comes next. Life feels pre-installed, like an operating system that boots up and runs before you even think about it. You're no longer afraid of getting lost. Not through discipline, but through fewer questions asked every morning. Number 35, self-sufficiency becomes normal. After a long day, Eric solves it himself, like always. Then it hits him. If nothing ever breaks, nothing ever has to begin. He's so self-sufficient that even his problems gave up and went home. And for the first time, he realizes that nothing will ever demand anything from him again. That's what scares him. Number 36, when social life shrinks, you don't cut people off, you just stop initiating. Even casual conversations start feeling like appointments you forgot to cancel, and that's the risk. Not losing people, but losing the habit of connection. Number 37, real risk becomes possible again. When comfort lasts long enough, standing still turns dangerous. Opportunities don't announce themselves twice. A position opens briefly. A business idea makes sense on paper. Starting now would disrupt a life that already feels stable. Hesitation feels reasonable. The chance simply moves on to someone else who didn't need it to feel right. Years later, that name surfaces again, this time as a headline. That's when the gap appears. Not success versus failure, but those who moved and those who waited. The real risk wasn't acting, it was letting the moment expire. Number 38, when enjoyment gets muted. Simple things once lifted his mood. Birdsong, sunlight, a short walk outside, now they pass by without pulling him in the way they used to. He doesn't complain, he just lets it pass. If this moment feels familiar, stay with the video. The next part connects what fades quietly with what still wants to move. And that's the shift, not losing joy, but needing more to feel it. 39, when time with your child becomes scheduled. This changes men permanently. Time with your child stops being natural. It moves onto a calendar. Hours get counted. The loss isn't financial, it's presence. You don't miss milestones. You miss the ordinary moments that made you matter. Men who never have their role as a father scheduled never have to redefine who they are. Their daily presence was never taken away. Number 40, power dynamics stay balanced. When one side carries more protection, the other side becomes careful. People speak less directly. They choose words. They avoid situations. Jimmy wants to speak up in the meeting. One wrong sentence could create weeks of trouble. So Jimmy stays silent. He nods like he agrees, even though no one asked him anything. Single men don't need to shrink their behavior to stay safe. Number 41, validation moves inward. There was a time when reactions mattered more than he realized. The phone stays face down now, not because of discipline or focus, but because no one is really checking anymore. Bob finishes what he's saying and no one responds. For a second, he wonders if he accidentally muted the room. No reaction, no follow-up, no signal that the point needs sharpening. No one fine-tunes him the way they used to. When someone asks why he didn't check the message, he just blames bad 4G. The day moves on. Everything worked as expected. And slowly, without noticing when it started, he stops pushing himself the way he used to. 42. When nothing pushes you anymore. By this point, nothing is obviously wrong, but nothing challenges your direction. So progress becomes optional. Growth turns into a background idea. You don't stop moving entirely, you just stop moving forward on purpose. Stability without pressure, freedom without momentum. And the question isn't dramatic or heroic, it's simple, and it sits there whether you answer it or not. When nothing pushes you anymore, do you create your own pull, or do you slowly accept the smaller version that comes with ease? What comes next is about how men take that power back on their own terms. Number 43, home stays emotionally neutral. Once rhythm is in place, the home stays steady, regardless of how the day went. You can walk in tired, annoyed, or half awake, and nothing in the house takes it personally. That neutrality matters more than comfort. It lets your system finally stand down. It gives your attention somewhere safe to land. Happiness starts looking simpler here. Stretching out on the sofa, eyes drifting toward the garden, seeing the soil still dark from being watered earlier. Not excitement, just a sense of ease, knowing everything is taken care of. Number 44, you live under a higher order. You move through life believing there is an order beyond human moods. What you do is seen. What you carry is known. Nothing is wasted, just an axe from what feels right. He does what he believes is right, then lets what follows take its own shape. A small act of help, a gentle word, a modest donation. When failure comes, he takes it as a lesson meant to help him grow. Effort still counts, even when it stays quiet. Peace comes from trusting that what unfolds is guided, not random. That trust holds you, not loudly, but steadily, day after day. Number 45, curiosity keeps single men happy. Single men stay happier by staying curious about life. They explore work, skills, places, and ideas without needing permission. Everything becomes something to learn from, not something to cling to. They notice what gives energy and what slowly drains it. Once, I heard someone explain that male mosquitoes don't even drink blood. Only the females do. I laughed out loud, not because it mattered, but because learning small, unexpected things keeps life light. Obligation holds people in place. Curiosity keeps single men discovering what truly satisfies them. Number 46, letting the past go brings peace. Life feels lighter when the past stops following you around. What happened no longer gets a vote in how you live today. Single men learn to forgive people who couldn't meet them where they were. And slowly, they learn to forgive themselves for not knowing better back then. Stephen finally stopped rereading the old messages and deleted them. That night, he slept without replaying the mistake for the first time in years. Letting go isn't denial. It's choosing not to bleed into the present. The weight eases. The heart opens. Forgiveness doesn't rewrite the past. It gives you room to finally move forward. Number 47, physical movement keeps life interesting. Single men feel better when their bodies stay in motion. Running, swimming, lifting weights, cycling, walking long distances. Movement clears the head without needing explanation. The body works. The mind follows. One morning, a man decides to jog just 10 minutes. 3 minutes in, he's gasping for air and laughing at how confident he sounded 5 minutes earlier. You don't exercise to impress anyone. You move because it keeps life awake. Physical movement turns ordinary days into something that feels lived. Number 48, control comes from timely adjustments. As you get older, discomfort comes from staying too long in routines that no longer fit, not from age itself. Control grows when you check what still works and what doesn't. At 48, John realizes his body no longer tolerates cigarettes like it used to, so he quits and adjusts his routine. Control isn't about holding everything together. It's about realigning before pressure builds. Number 49, shared interests. Build real connections. Social connection feels easier when it's built around something you enjoy. A sports club, a book group, a photography walk, a woodworking class. You don't start by explaining your life, you show up for the activity. Conversation follows naturally. I enjoy playing badminton, even though I'm not very good at it. When I first joined the club, I felt shy and worried people would judge my skills. It turned out most people there were thinking the exact same thing about themselves. You don't force friendship, you let it grow around shared ground. That's how social life stays light, steady, and real. Number 50, your direction stays open. When you're single, change stays available. Men not anchored to a relationship don't lock their identity in place. They keep evolving. An open direction feels uncertain, until you realize it's the last thing no one else can decide for you. Direction doesn't disappear, it gets handed over. One reasonable choice at a time. If you want the next part of this journey, subscribe. We're building a calm place for men who still want to move forward. These chapters aren't a checklist. They simply ask you to participate in life more honestly. You don't need to agree with every point. You only need to notice the ones that already feel familiar. Happiness doesn't arrive all at once. It builds through small, calm decisions made over time. Keep what fits, release what doesn't. That way of living is what this channel, Move or Die Stoic, was built for. Your life is allowed to stay adjustable, and more than anything else, that's where peace begins.